No, I mean, the market's very emotional right now. I think we can, to your point, to unpack this, let's start with Janet Yellen. She certainly has a horse in the race here. So her talking about the functionality of the byproduct of Fed movement and activity, I think, has to be taken with a grain of salt right now. The markets are very uncertain as to what the next moves are. And all the rate rises and the hawkish tone to the Fed is all backward looking. So, I've been very critical of the way that I think the Fed has handled not only the situation, but their articulation. And the issue is that there is no underlying economy that can support this hawkish activity. So, we're going to get to this point of maximum in the inflection point that we get to. We have to be very careful about being able to walk back from that edge or jumping off fully. And unfortunately, the emotional part of the market right now is saying that the Fed doesn't know how to walk back.
I know you've been a vocal critic of this Fed and the Fed chair. The problem is, though, when it comes to the market outlook, the Fed appears locked and loaded for another 75 basis point hike. Is there anything in your view, Brett, that is going to induce this Fed pivot that traders are hoping and praying for? Because it doesn't seem like there's any data on the horizon that would support that pivot.
No, look, I think we're at a very sensitive time right now. We have Sunday is the MPC. We're going to get some sort of an insight into the next 5 years in China. I think it's going to be vastly different than the last time she walked out for a second term. That's certainly something to be paying attention to. There's various rumblings right now that maybe the war in the Ukraine is slowing down, or at least at a point where people can get their hands around it and make some sort of adjustments in the market. Those are certainly two shocks to the system that could help as far as taking uncertainty out of the market, allowing people to take a step back. I like the comments out of the Bank of Korea today. I like the idea that they're saying that they're almost at their target rate. And that being said, you get some sort of first sign of a central bank saying they're almost done. I'd like to see that out of the Fed. I think that they need to pare back the hawkish tone. So I think they're going to raise. We're going to have the midterm cycle election in the U.S. We're going to see some things happen in the next 3 weeks. But I think we're at the end of the rate raises. In fact, I think the environment in the U.S. and monetary policy will look much more like what the PBOC is doing now come late first quarter 2023, where the Fed's going to be in a position where they're going to have to be cutting rates again.